today on Saturday, the 9th of May 2026. This evening, we have a special guest, former Gambian international goalkeeper Christopher Allen, who once played for the Gambia Ports Authority. And also, he has 21 caps playing for the senior national team. This evening, we will discuss with him to talk about his career highlights, his journey, and of course, some of the challenges he faced growing up as a footballer. We also will be discussing about his inspiration, becoming a footballer and what he's doing currently. Mbokk yi comme ni ñu leen ko waxee rek si kàllaama nasaraan rek tey comme ni ñu ko baaxoo di def rek saa yu ne bés bu nekk suñ ñëwee fii si place bi rek dañoo indi kan boo xam ne bëgg nañoo waxtaan ak moom di waxtaan lépp loo xam ne moo jëm si jaar-jaar boo xam ne loolu la def si wàllum tàggat yaram surtout ma football bu ko defee tey nag suñ gan bu tedda bi mooy kii di Christopher Allen moom nag mos naa playal Gambia réew mi Gambia te play na tam fii si domestic league bi tamit bu ko defee nañ waxtaan ak moom jaar-jaaraam bi yan jafe-jafe la am ak yeneen yoo xam ne tam dina ko mën a def pour inspire the next generation of talent ñoo xam ne ñu ngi séntu pour mel ni comme Christopher Allen ak yeneen waxtaan yoo xam ne dinañ ko seetoo fii man la seen doomi ndey Lamin Fadera ñu bari ràññee ma si del ak suma waa ji base Chris.
Yes.
You are the program, man, bro. Welcome to the program.
Jërëjëf man pour invitation bi and foog naa bu ma bis contacté ma ne ko no problem brother because ñun ñëpp a ko bokk daal dañ bugg a gis Gambian football bi dem ci kanam and wax leen tamit naka la football bi mel si dëkk bi but jërëjëf for having me. Thank you all.
You welcome Chris. Bis boy naka la nag
boy maa ngi baax boy maa si ñu ngi winte boy maa ngi cool boy ko tey maa ngi baax
na waaye yow duñ juboo tey de kon
Chris yow Arsenal nga
gonas laa de
boy yow ëllëg we sam daf laa yóbbu de
waaye nañ seet rek
baax na
that's right
but anyway comme niñ ko waxee rek Chris comme niñ ko dee baaxoo di def rek everybody da nga am a story, you have a beginning. Bëgg nañoo xam how do you become a footballer, especially a goalkeeper, naka la commencé sa time xale,
That's nice. Thank you once again. Football nag daga foog man ñu bëri nag xamewuñ ma ko woon parce que xam nga time boobu Banjul suñ ne aku Pikin rek duñ gisoon rek mooy ne aku Pikin si kër gi rek la nekka du génn du def yéena yi but football dafa nekkoon loo xam ne dañ ko daan play pour fond rek si koñ gi because man fu ma dëkkoon ku ko xam Lovell Square biir Banjul opposite fu ma dëkkoon dafa amoon very large ground ni on the left hand nga am fa jaaka ak daara but most of the time nag foofu lañ daan play football but xam nga rek after suñ time buñ dee am si kër gi rek nga xam nga ñun moom aku Pikin moom foog nga def sa chose si kër gi balaa ngaa mun a génn pour dem play fooy so noonu la doore woon but I was not into it that much nekkuma ci woon lu bari nag one at a time rek léegi ma dem out rek play antu nii rek dawaat duga xam nga suma papa moom nag xam nga time boobu noonu gisutoon football xamutoon football yëppi football so su taxawee rek su ma gisee rek man daw naa so noonu laa doore di sàccantu nag di football xam nga rek so noonu la woon nag but kañ laa door di play duga ci football torop mooy woon time boobu noonu suñu amee like summer holiday dam daa dem si suma turandoor mi ngi dëkkoon Latrikunda Jaamaan so dam daa dem holiday foofu noonu so foofu laa dee mun a am time sax because suma oncle daf ñu daan bàyyi nag ñu dem play so dañ daa dem LK di challenge foofu léegi si koñ gi di play antu noonu so foofu laa dooree di develop football nag but at the beginning right back laa woon nag ñu bari xamee wuñ bokk nag waaye right back wow. At the beginning. So lu happened mooy dañ da amoon benn comme like warga la woon LK. So goalkeeper ku judee player dafa feebaroon. So gars yi nekk fa di laajte nag boy can I mën a play football can I play post ma ne la comme que right back laa rek xaar leen ma try rek ñu ne ma boy da ñoo jaay si ma ne leen non ne leen dem ñu play rek luñ ci mën a am rek so yàlla def nag that game I was very outstanding man sax mënuma gom suma bopp naka laa mën a play post di dive noonu so suma cousin ne ma boy yow fooguloo ne yaa better at goal than right back ma ne ko non bii pour tey rek la de du continuer de so all of a sudden every weekend nii rek ñu ooma ñu ne ma boy dañ dem play ma ne leen right back laay play de ñu ne ma non yow luñ gis nga play da di so pause rek so that's how the goalkeeping developed and I came to love football but my parents were not that much into football because ñoom gisuñ ko woon at that time ñoom luñ gisoon rek jànga
I know
so I said
most of the aku Pikins ñoo xam ne wala aku ñoo leen yar they have a similar story. I remember you remember when we had Abdou Boy T-Boy
Wow.
Former captain moom tam aku moo ko yar they all have one storyline. Education is always the center of focus lan moo waral loolu noonu
exactly because ñoom they were not into football that much so all they were after was for me to be educated to follow my books and all that stuff but there came a time in my life boo xam ne suma papa demoon na ba gis ne I love football but also I was concentrating on my education because boobu moom caaxaaneewu ma ko woon so there came a time moom num xamee ne sax man dam dey play football it was a very funny situation comme like xam nga comme samedi nii su jotee Banjul ku nekk am na coos yum dee def kiram yaa understand kuy fóot uniforme am kuy dem marché kuy def lu mu war a def si kër bi def ko balaa ngaa génn pour dem play fooy so there was this day ñu ngi am warga so suma boy si ak maa yuuxu si mbedda gi de comme like si fence bi di yuuxu Allen naka la nañ dem suma papa ngi toog si ron guy gi di bàyyi xel
am naa mu ngi gàppa nag
so all of a sudden dafa mi ngi gàpp pour ma ne damaa génn rek bàyyi lu ma def pour mu téye ma foofu nag so all of a sudden am na lu dox suma may ne rek ma ne leen boy dem leen su ma paree suma liggéey bi dinaa ñëw fekkaleen foofu noonu so foog naa loolu nag moo ko laal mu xam ne okay he has something to do but let him do it first before going so after mu talk for like 10-15 minutes mu dem ma ne yow xale yi luñ laa yuuxoo nii lu xew ma ne ko non dañ bugg a dem play football dañ ma oo mu ne ma yow da nga mun football ma ne ko waaw mu ne ma dama yow yapat nga mu ne ma waaye man doon xaar nga génn fii rek ma ne ko non dama bugg a def suma liggéey ba pare ma soog a dem so noonu la waxee ne ok mun ngaa bàyyi soo ñëwee nga continuer demal nga play not knowing ne suma papa mu ngi toppa suma gannaaw
that's interesting
yeah ñu dem ba Makati Square xam nañ ne Makati Square at that time cricket moo fa gënoon a lifin fees so ñu war a xaar ñu doon cricket bañ pare ñu teg suñ pause mun a play so not knowing because soo leen bàyyi xel gis nga ku xam Makati Square boori State House mi ngi am benn comme like security checkpoint bu fa ne security néeg bu fa ne foofu la suma papa ndekete foofu la dem laaxu so di ma seetaan so ñu nekk di play ñu play bu ma accès rek booy ne ma booy Chris ñëw na ñu dugal ma straight ku nekkoon si pause bi ñu teg ko so noonu laa duggee so ñu door di play ñu mujjee penalties so luckily ma mun a save ñetti penalty at ñu win so man ma ñëw after everything ma ñëw egga kër rek fekk suma papa ngi toog di ma xaar ma ne waa play ngeen ba pare ma ne ko waaw mu ne ñana win ma ne ko ñoo win mu ne ma seetaan naa la waaye da nga na sax
Wow.
ma ne ko ma ne ko yaa ngi fa woon mu ne ma waaw mu ne ma I don't I watch you but you know bul nothing xam nga loolu si aku mo nekk mënuloo dara so ma ne nii suma xel bi daan am naa man la bëgg a just trigger nii rek ara ma bàyyi ko so from there mu gis ne I love the game so every Sunday daf ma dee ne okay do your work first before going out to play so noonu laa dooree football bi boole ko education bi but ñu bëri nag xamuñ ko woon si biti suma gaay koñ yi rek xamoon ne dam daan play football especially post so noonu la dooree daal as time goes on dinaa gën a elaborate more into it yeah
Yeah, you were fan of fun is very important. I mean, growing up as a child, you know, before you do anything, you think about the books, but you also have to think about the house care you have you know what I did. And how does that shape
exactly
you as a human being, as an individual?
yeah it shaped me a lot because ku xam këri aku dëgga soo fa duga muy weekends ah neer yi dañoo toog yéen ngeen def seen liggéey you understand because especially because man suma yaay yëpp doomu góor la am ñun ñetti boys lañ so amutoon doom bu jigéen so yaa gis so from there teach na lu ñu bëri teach nañu lu bëri yaa understand because kenn du fóot sa uniforme let's say Friday soo wàccee ida xooj nga sa uniforme bi nga xaar samedi nga fóot ko wala nga fóot ko that Friday then Sunday nga passé pour Monday school so yeah, I understand. So it shaped me a lot because comme léegi fu ma nekk nii I can do a lot. Yeah, I understand. Because su yarin bi baaxutoon time xaleel du ma fi doo eega. Yeah, I understand. So
I asked
it
that
shaped a
question
lot. It
simply
shaped a
because
lot.
come like a lot of people you have like they came from the different homes. All right, the mom, the dad, the sisters are the one who do everything for you. But soon as you leave the source of this country, you put the apple for example, I
That's
toga,
what I
I
mean.
food. I
Exactly.
want to understand that. You know, so the
Na-
guy told them even malo sa boy, gade pa loko borom no
exactly.
boy.
No,
Boy, saya
no,
malah nak
no, dinaa ñëw
saya malah nak tidur dalam pada ko.
no no waaye dinaa ñëw foofu tamit because am na suma friend koo xam ne tay boobu noonu si kër gi seen kër hardly mu def chores yaa ngi understand so su ko yaayam buggee dóor daf ko dee indi suñ kër ne ko demal si ñoom Chris because xam na ne foofu su fa dugga si foog mu liggéey and that shaped him and that shaped him up because am na time bu mu demoon studies in UK ma fekk ko foofu noonu ma ne ko boy lu ñoo cop mu ne ma hey xaaral nga fàtte ne ba jànga seen kër si saa si mu dugga si waañ bi noonu la toogee ñun ñëpp ñu tooga foofu noonu ñu cop mu ne ma ne ko boy bi xanaa kër gi moo la ko jànga mu ne ma paa bi su ko defutoon du baax so it's very good xam nga nit ñi jàng ko because soo génnee tamit you are on your own.
Incredible story, right? So just take us
Yeah.
through, playing as a young boy in the street of Banjul or even in Makati Square. Do you remember what club is your first club? Maybe you playing at Nawetan. How was life like, back in the days?
Yes, maa ngi dooree comme am na ay tournaments yu ñu daan am like summer tournaments léegi kii Yankuba Touré tamu te régime yi Yaya Jammeh bi Yankuba Touré daf daan state tournament Banjul boo xam ne summer tournament la daan nekk so area bu nekk am na team bu fa jógee so man maa ngi dëkkoon Lovell Square but most of the time Piñay Street laa daan toog yaa understand so dañ fa amoon team bu tuddoon Ebels so foofu lañ dooree di play antu comme like comme it's like a gox ne comme junior guys yi nawetaan nii rek so noonu lañ dooree di play ba at that time ñoon Tidiane tamit ñu ngi amoon seen team Tidiane Jaite ak ñoon Demba Sabe ñu ngi amoon seen team moom mi ngi ñu ngi woon time boobu fii naka la tudda naka la koñ gi tudda sax maa ngi fàtte koñ yi ñoon Tidiane sax non du Lancaster
wala private
sorry de non du private tamit after private am nga diggante Lancaster Perseverance gaa yi amoon tipo ñoon Demba Sabe ñoom Usuboy Ndama ñoom Tidiane Jaite ñoom kii Sehu ñoom ñu bari so dañ daan play against ñooñu tamit so but after foofu suma first nawetaan team was Pignados nga xaw ma ndax xam ngeen team boobu noonu Pignados
non xamuñ team boobu noonu nag.
Okay, Pignados is of like a club la woon yoo xam ne koto yi ñoo ko set up nekkoon Piñaay.
Oh, okay.
So then,
yeah, I saw Pignados.
Wow. Yeah, so comme like a club la woon, like a gentleman's club la woon bu koto yi set up on. So all of a sudden nga toog di bi waxtaan ñu ne ma de comme que club yi lifin nañ club men's club dañ nii nañ organize football club. So I guess from there you set up Pignados. But at the initial stage, lu gaa daan def mooy dañ daan jëli players from Senegal indi leen. You understand? Pour yaa nga ñoom ñu ñëw player leen. So few of suñ guys yi lañ daan use because bu boy si dooree di gis loolu ñu ne koto yi amuñ trust ñun believe wuñ ñu. So gaa di dem Senegal di jëli ay players yi lay indi. So da nga gis ne noonu la suñ team di dooree di tas di dem ñeena yi door di play yi beneen team club yooyu noonu but man unfortunately ma de xaw ma beneen team fii laa xam xaaral ma des but belief bi nekkut fa woon because I was very young so I was an understudy to Canada daal mooy benn keeper la from Sénégal la ko gaa yi jëlee woon but every time suñ demee training daf dee wax coach bi ne xale bi am na talent waaye nañ ko may tuuti rek so si loolu lañ nekk for the first year Pignados dem ba final win benn trophy but still man third choice laa woon dam daan toog si benn wala téye bagage yooyu doon so there came a time the second season foog naa bu gaay try chance amaatuñ beneen goalkeeper out so sila xaw ma ndax xam ngeen Terry Boy mi ngi woon Starlight Terry Boy coach la woon waaw Terry Boy soo mi mu am belief boobu ne mun naa play yaa understand so moom moo ma njëkk a dugal sax si football bi Pignados pour play so first season bi xaw ma ndax yéen a mun a fàttale ñu ngi Banjul la ngi organise on nawetaan si McCarthy Square time boobu la ñi tam door am force si la door at that year because we nawetaani Banjul la gaay jógee ñu set up
2002
mun a ñëw fa exactly
2000
so waaw foofu laa dooree so my first game was against Elminite time boobu ñoom Kamal Ndaw ñu ngi play Elminite I was very young so maa ngi mun a fàttaliku balaa game bi koto yaa ngi waxtaan ak Terry Boy yow yaa ngi jox xale bi chance ndax dina mën a play against ñoom Kamal Ndaw nga xam ne dañ nii gaye mu ne leen ne man maa am belief boobu jox xale bi ne dafa play ne leen ko jox chance so the night before the game kii naka tudda Oncle Mbay mi ngi woon mooy woon protocole yi GFF bi foofu léegi foog naa dafa rëy Oncle Mbay mu ñëw mu ne ma Allen mu ne ma ëllëg sa first game waaye hope yaa ngi ready ma ne ko Oncle man pare ndongo Banjul la pare naa football la daal we no lose rek mu ne ma ok so noonu lañ demee first game bi I was outstanding being it why first 10 minutes I was very calm rek comme na musuma play nawetaan that was my first nawetaan first 10 minutes I was very nervous but after Terry Boy oma mu ne ma Allen stay calm just play normal football la ma ne ko all right so suma first save moo ma dugal si game bi.
Yeah.
mun naa still now mun naa remember kan la woon nickname am bi laa am Didi mi ngi woon El Midnight Didi la lañ ko daa ooyee dafa head ma save ball bi so from there on ma build confidence ba ne I can do this it's normal so foofu lañ dooree di play football ma dem ba foog naa semi final ñu toog time foog naa Falcons ñu dooroon something like that so ñu toog from there nag si laa door nag kick start di play Pignados ba mujjee win ñaari trophy pour Pignados from there on ma am Walidan approach nañ ma ak Gamtel but yéen soo leen xamee pay aku yi daal ñoom daal fu jànga gi nekk rek foofu la gaa dee seet so I think waaw so Walidan ñëw ñu ne suma papa ñu ne dañ bugg a sa doom playal ñu so suma papa laaj leen loo leen ko offer as in terms of education so gars yi tàgga nekk foofu di indi crib so suma papa ne ok nañ xaar so from there kii Sol Koor moo ne time boobu mi ngi woon Gamtel ak Alaaji Sila so foog naa Alaaji Sila ebal ko ne ma ne demal ci kër ñoom kër bi ko moom mi ngi dëkkoon Perseverance ñu ngi dëkkoon Lovell Square bugga nañ ko pour mu playal ñu so bu Sol ñëwee mu ne ko suma po ne ko so loo leen amal Chris pour mu because xam ngeen ne ñun jànga moom nuñ ko dee caaxane da ngeen ko faya pour institution wala lan so bii nit Gamtel so Sol ne ko ok léegi dañ am school Gamtel dafa am school mooy GTMI waaw so dina fa buddi dem den weekends bi muy ñëw play si su fa jógee mu ñëw train fekka jos jeexal naa ko ma nen transfer so suma partner since that is the thing dinaa leen bàyyi yéen ngeen jël ko su muy dem school so that was how it started so gaa door di ma fayal school also my play naka la tudd Gamtel so bu ma demee Gamtel man ma ndaa foog naa di same year leen join Gamtel because after no balaa may dem foofu sax because after Pignados play na Wafi El Midnight play na Wafi El Midnight benn season ñu win fa trophies man la Pa Modou Dia George Cole Lai Rossi ñu win trophy foofu so from foofu nag mas door di am suma time di play Division 1
I mean very interesting nañ ñëw si sa time Gamtel before moving to the next stage but talk to us about your time guiding Banjul to that zonal trophy because I know it was very special it was so special especially playing against Bakau that was a hell of a match but one man stood out it was Christopher Allen
exactly zonals my first year zonals like I said was my first year my play nawetan but by then I was still young so I have the likes of there was Petty short guy like one we don't play Starlight you know they had experience and all that so I remember some of first zonal training I saw the likes of Tubabo move forward ñoom Kamal Ndaw ñoom Paco Koor ak ñeneen daal ak ñoom Dawda Ba sorry as well so I was like bu ma demee ñu ne ma Raka welcome ma ne leen okay thank you but xam nga they were those type of caliber players yoo xam ne ñu ngi play si divisional team bi at that time so seeing those people playing with them ma ne we fii ndaa stand chance ak noonu but thank God Terry Boy also was that year's zonal team coach as well so he has that belief in me as well so that was it so bu ma duggee ñëwee I was the second choice like any other young goalkeeper coming up So this particular game boy was my first game series zonals, which was in Bakau against Bakau. I think it was a semi-final, I guess.
Semi-final, yeah.
Yes. So there was a time boy swing goalkeeper dafa gañu won first choice bi moy petit gata ni nekon starlight. So dafa gañu won, but again rek Terry boy ne ba womo. Ma ko Terry mi si aku am nga de aku ma ko Terry mi. Ma who else is on the bench? So that semi-final, and also I'm got at nervousness at that first game. Ma ko Terry boy mi mu ne ma mané jogal nga dem. So no la warm up maduga, and then could you imagine my first encounter was a penalty. It was Pamodo Jan who don't play left back. So all of a sudden then go beat me. So mu trip guy striker Bakau. So when here small mind this is my chance. So my save a penalty be I'm there. So it will put me down. But thank God, Mamuna save penalty at that instant. Just enter in the field and then conceded a penalty, Mamunko Geni. And that built my confidence a lot. So no lane them say penalty shootout tamit you win Bakau at that game. It was a great game for me that day. It was a very great.
So this is what you said in that year after the win over Bakau, because they can them Ngendur Lamin convincingly 4-0 in the final.
4-0 final,
but
yes.
It seems like the semi-final was your best. You said the semi-final penalty shootout, that remained my finest match in the hour that I played football. I'm sure,
Exactly.
As a young boy playing, Balanga you were nervous. You came instantly, you saved a penalty. Then came post-match penalty shootout. Especially we know how it was tough between Bakau Banyu. That must be
Exactly. I remember that game, George Cole triggering the fans of Bakau. I was in he was playing right back then. From now ball with the Jala, so si Nahi nono. So from now guy di rite what the put jail ball we put gamma send team muna am that momentum. From now George Cole am na lum wax ya niti ala utilem ball. Rek guy door si kaw. Ba ko George mano ko yage play di sa ni boy ñun suñ paré dañoo jam de. Mano Chris bu wori li man game la ni rek. Mano ko anyway so def ni mom nice dañ play football ñu bay guy. So that was it. It was a very nice game, and like you said, it was my best game since I started football because I couldn't believe it. Entering the field, saving that penalty, and then penalty shootout also saved 2 penalties. It was a great game. It was a very good.
Yeah.
Boy, Musaba Jaha Mulanu you by Agwataman boy.
Semua kotor balen ko semua kotor Musa.
Boy, muna boss ay lefina nga ndo am nga moy sa boss mune.
No, wow. No, janga na a lot from him. Dina ñew fofu no because share na room ak mom.
Dina ñew.
Mom dan nañ ko indi nak waye di nga wax tuuti ci Musa because he's a very
I
remember I had an interview with him some few years ago. Very interesting Musa.
Exactly. Interesting guy and a very supportive someone.
Yeah.
Please, let na buga understand ha. Jinga okay, Banjul ak Bakau send rivalry bi dafa tension waaye fogon naa ne moo nekkoon chafka zonals bi understand
Exactly.
Can you take us through send rivalry bi naka la ñëwee yana Bakau ba su mel like gaay na Banjul wala play ak Bakau dafa mel ni Gambia Sénégal ñu war a play
no rivalry boobu dam ko fa fekka loolu yaaga la de
lu yaaga la
time ñoon Tidiane Kéru ak ñoon ñan muna ñoon Paco ñoon naka Baye Sala Baye Omar sorry loolu dafa yaaga du suñ time rek de ñun dañ ko fa fekka Bakau Banjul boobu noonu because mun naa fàtte ko time zonals su daan time boobu stadium ñun dañ daa mun a ut lift dem ba Bakau so su ñooy ñu suñu winee dañ koto yi dañ ñu daan gunge ba Steen Corner so ñun ñoo xam naka la ñoo ñibee wala dañoo ut liif wala dañoo dox daw ba Banjul di célébrer so yooyu dañ ko boobu dañ ko fa fekka it was because Bakau daf daan ne ñoom football foofu la santé Banjul ne non Banjul la football santé so da ngaa gis ne rivalry boobu noonu it was very tense because soo xamee Bakau produce nañ stars yu bëri Banjul produce nañ stars yu bëri so da ngaa gis ne rivalry boobu noonu dafa ñëw ba léegi-léegi si club side sax daf daa am Real di Banjul fii Biko fële ñoom Maasoose fële so rivalry boobu dafa yàgga ñun dañ ko fa fekk nag and it was a great atmosphere boo xam ne da nga ko daan bugga because yow as a footballer you love those kind of atmospheres to play xam nga soo fa shine you are on top soo fa amee a bad game then you are down so it's a rivalry boo xam ne ñëpp a ko daan séentu suñ boole Banjul ak Bakau benn zone rek that was it xam nga ne boobu moom du odaay la boobu final la woon sax
final yeah
naka tuddaati sax yow lan nga foog ne loolu moo tax chapter zonal bi léegi mu wàcca because time boobu noonu zonal football su waree jot Gambia boy loolu beneen affaire la de waaye léegi moom zonal dafa dem ba zonal jeesa doo xam ne comme zonal am na loolu sa own opinion
exactly no xam nga zonal gox la comme man I feel ne yëfi gox la te ku nekk dafa bëgg a ñëw support gaayam so comme léegi man nu ma nekkee Banjul suma famille léegi Banjul dañoo ne ok suñ doom baa ngi pli so foog ñu dem ñu support ko so ñëpp a doon rally behind because different teams lañ jógee yaa understand Bakau tamit different teams ku nekk yëfi gox la ku nekk dafa ne suma gox la moom yaa understand so that naka la naka laa ko mën a waxee sax that liveliness of these zonals daf daan tax xam nga ñu bëri dañ daan bugg a play football because dañ koy gis ne soo play te zonals rek yow bokkuloo comme like sa football daal at that time at that age yow playwuloo dara because zonals foofu lañ daan selecté pour nga mun a join comme the likes of Real de Banjul Wali daan ak yooyu noonu so soo fa playwutee rek dafa mel ne yow achieve anguloo dara so yaa ngi gis so at that time nit ñi dañ daan génn si support because soo demee Bakau gaay Bakau yi dañoo génn si ñoo support because Banjul la dañoo play against Banjul so Bakau dafa génn si Brikama dafa génn si because we all know how football is in this country nit ñi dañ love football torop dañ love football torop so foog naa zonal suñ ko continuer it's gonna surpass league bi sax da ngeen ko dee gis léegi zonal sax supporting bi sax doo ko dee am si league bi yaa wala sax league bi danga dem fekk a few nit
with all the tents bu fa nekkoon maa ngi remember benn year Banjul den tee garage bi ñu ne gaay Bakau yi du ñibbi because fana match boobu noonu gaay biri Banjul leen ko play
waaw dafa na gaay biri foog naa waaw gaay Bakau yi la non mun naa fa de am na ñeena joo xam ne dañ mujjee dox
waaw maa ngi
dañ mujjee dox
ñu ne benn
bon road la gaay jël sax mun naa fàttale ko bon road la gaay jël dox ba Denton Bridge balaa gaay di am moto pour ñibbi because nanguwuñ ko woon because am nga zonals la woon so tension boobu dafa daan nekka espère yow soo waree ñëw biir Banjul nga win Banjul biir Banjul na nga expecté pour ñibbi yaay am koto yoo xam ne ñu ngi toog moom la yaay am koto yoo xam ne ñu ngi toog seen koñ di la xaar nga bugg nga wax dara rek ñu songa la
pasawane mu ne rivalry bi yaaga na waaye mu ne Ibou Silla ak Tidiane Keru seen incident bi moo ko yóbbu to next level xam nga mun nga remember
exactly ak Tidiane Keru non mun naa fàle woon ne Tidiane Keru si lu ma dégga daf daan naama gis nga Stott Sami daf ko daan naama balaa game against Bakau yaa understand so that shows you ne duy jël nonsense moom foog naa am na benn game bu dafa dóor Ibou Silla si track si la dem fole ba gaay Bakau yi ñëpp waay mun naa fàttale ko loolu because Tidiane suñ ko tola du daan jël nonsense moom training sax da ngaa xam ne du jël nonsense So that type of player la type of am ñun Tidiane Keru ñu la push sa gannaaw xam nga di la push. So obviously yow tam foog nga step up. Foog nga step up. So nga gis yooyu noonu sa koto yooyu noonu yow nga war a ñëw play di bàyyandeku against Bakaw. Du daa
dafa
easy.
yomb de.
So dañ la daan waaw dañ la daan jinja balaa game bi. So yow obviously foog nga am yow tam fit boobu noonu nga mun a dem face Bakaw.
Interesting. So pare nga si zonals bi ndax?
Waaw pare na.
So rek dama bëgg ñu dugal tuuti si next move am because them Gamtel noonu was also, you know, lu ñu was scholar athlete ngay jàng di dem di playale, you know, how does that shape your career itself? Because I know education is very fundamental. Comme no ko waxee pa bi nu ko waxee.
Exactly. No, education was key for my dad because loolu moo taxoon sax mu gën maa bàyyi ma play football. You understand? Because su ma nekkutoon di jàng foofu noonu, then I wouldn't have been thinking of football sax. Xalaatuma woon ko because dama mun a ma pursue suma career into something else, def masters ak yooyu noonu. But my father was very steadfast with education. So da nga gis ne foog ma dem school balaa ma su ma jógee school ñëw dem soog a dem train léegi ma dem school sa later wàcca ma call ma ñaan si school because time boobu ñun amuñu woon mobile yaa ngi sax si school bi foofu lay jël laan phone bi rek call si kër gi ne leen ne dama later wàcca waaye maa ngi dem train so that suma papa ak suma yaay ñu mun a ease seen bopp xam ne ok kii dafa dem training. So that was it because foog ñu am loolu because munoon naa jogul loolu from school ñëw training from training because ñu ñëpp Banjul lañ dëkkoon tamit ñu ngi amoon boss so daf ñu dee yóbbu train ñu ñibbi.
That's great. So how do you get to play to Gamtel?
Yeah, like I said, Gamtel bu ma fa ñëw may fekk Alhaji Sila coach Alhaji Sila honorable. Wow. And he was very key to my career as well because Alhaji Sila was someone koo xam ne daf la dee mun a motivate definitely daf la dee mun a motivate even su waxee yow rek da dee xam ne okay he wants something from you and you are there to give him that something. You understand? So there came a time Gamtel Alhaji Sila du daan pick goalkeeper because Gamtel was so renowned with good goalkeepers. You understand? Because man fekk naa fa Badou Cissé am na kenn ku ma fee waaye tur bi escape na ma Badou Cissé ñoom Baka ñoom Moussa Camara ñoom ñëpp Gamtel dañ jaar so yaa comme time boo xam ne moom dafa just pick 10 infield players yi goalkeeper mu ne leen seet leen because he had that trust in us yéen kana bugg a pili yaa understand so camaraderie boobu noonu mi ngi woon suñ diggante ak Badou Cissé so léegi mu ñëw mu ne I want to play this game coming so ma ne ko alright let's go for it so da nga gis ne dafa dem ba xam ne Alhaji Sila dafa dem ba xam ne ok ñii kii mun naa am mu fooj injury pour kii mun a play so léegi daf dee ñëw mu ne xam nga la yéen keepers yi du ma leen choose yéen choose leen seen boppa that was how it was so he had that trust in us and belief in us ne ku mun a play rek dina ma indil dara so Gamtel was a good stepping stone ba time boo xam ne ñu wàcca second division and from there si laa door nag second division bi si laa door di play the first division first year bi suñ goalkeeper waaye fàtte naa turam moom moo doon play number of games so buñ door wàcca si la Alhaji Sila bàyyi moom tamit ki duga si na sol koor ñëw jël so second division bi la doora am cap su bari suma divisional league dañ mun a ñëwaat to si lifin because maa ngi fàttale ko suñ last game bi was against Lat Dior ñoom butut Lat Dior foog naa dañ leen dóor 2-0 ñu mun a qualify ñëwaat si naka la first division bi but Gamtel was my stepping stone because def naa fa almost I think 5 years more than that sax because Gamtel rek lañ ma xamee woon ba afterward ma mujjee dem Ports
How was it like, during those periods? I know goalkeepers, sometimes competition is very, very healthy, but also come pushing one another to the next level, especially when you have those connections and camaraderie, you know. Lul- Because I'm in a club, so you see goalkeepers, everybody want to play. Kenan to play who is not happy for the other person, but
Please, no.
it seems it was an exception, right?
Yes, yes, because they create atmosphere boo xam ne we call it a family at that time Gamtel atmosphere boo xam ne even after without su nekkutee training sax dañ dee mun a koolante dañ dee mun a tajeewante waxtaan ree so we build that relationship boo xam ne we everybody trust each other and everybody wants to see each other succeed so loolu dimbale nañu ba nga xam ne Gamtel we create a platform boo xam ne goalkeeper buy ñëw rek su dugasee rek his family so duñ la bugg a naj pour yéena because dañ lay gis yéena games yoo xam ne we don't need them but we dañ la leen okay coach can you use him I will take the example of Musa Camara bu moo ñëw bu mooy door daf daan Musa Camara nuñ ko jëlee mooy woon comme la balaa ñooy train daf daan ñëw di pliantu warga warga fii GTTI so benn di foog naa buñ doon train si la gis Mabadu ñu gis Alay Sila ma ne ko coach bu nduubalee na le foog naa dañ ko war a indi de mu ne waaye booy yoo xam nga ne fu mu nekk nii transfer window bi tëj na ak yooyu noonu pour register ma ne ko waaye buñ ko bàyyi de because at that time foog naa Real tamit ñu ngi ko doon ut waaye moom xam nga time boobu every time mi ngi GTTI di play and ak yooyu noonu so ma waxtaan ak Badu ma ne ko Badu nañ wax ak coach because xam nga ne ñun ñaar rek a fi nekk at this time so nañ ko indi pour mu join so si noonu la Alay Sila defee waxtaanee management bi mun koo jox daala register wuñ ko at that waaye dañ ko jox providal football boots gloves ak yooyu noonu pour just ñu mun koo attract mu mun a ñëw daal because gis nañ ne he has potentials so suñ ko naree bàyyi tamit you go somewhere ñoo ñaaka so that was how we were in Gamtel yaa understand there are more other keepers yoo xam ne they are very good keepers yoo xam ne ñëw nañ Gamtel shine nañ foofu noonu so that was it life in Gamtel daf ñu set up yoo xam ne fuñ mun a dem rek dañ daa mun a cope ak mun a bokka daal interact ak ñeneen.
Interesting. So then you moved to Ports Authority. What was the difference? What was the reason you moved to Ports?
Okay, the reason for my move to Ports, like I said, Gamtel was blessed with so many good goalkeepers. You understand? So when Sol Bundahe Sol Core, then ki Tafa Mane mo ñëwoon as an interim at that time. But I football because ñu ngi amoon foofu like Musa Camara because Badul time boo génn na ba pare demoon na CV Musa Camara man Baka Cissé so all of us we are part of the national team at that time
Yeah.
so ku nekk mi ngi ut position pour play you understand but for some reason bu Tafa Mane ñëwee Musa was like consistent playing. Yeah, I understand. So mane okay. Bala may ñëw fii because I could remember ma jump si kanam. At that time Paul Put mooy one national team coach. So because bala ma dem foofu sax ma just explain how naka laa génnee Gamtel dem Ports because so Tafa Mane was so much concentrated with the young keepers, which was Musa Kamara and Baka Cissé and the others. So I spoke to him, Manako, anyways, I've seen that you are more concentrated with these young boys. And also, I know they are also part of the national team. Everybody wants to play. You understand? So it seems like I'm not in your plans. Munomano, you are in my plans also. Manako, anyways, let me see how best mantam mamuna go back revisit suma bopa muna bokati si game. So I think after 1 month, two, I magis ne things ne could did them work. So manako anyway, Stafa, I think you let me go. Momo gonna moma gonna favor than the keep my fee, then you are not using me. So mune all right. Because the uh, Lutah sama geno na gena moy there was this tournament window I think it was in Togo. I
Togo,
think
yeah.
it was in Togo. Well, Bugamtel the represented Gambia. So mu select mo. So I was like, wow, what was going on? So munuma understand the this thing. Lutah select mo. So sila gis management. Anyways, I feel my time in Gamtel is up. You know, since groom nañ young players ba nga xam ne young goalkeepers yoo xam ne mun nañoo yóbbu team bi. I think my time is up. So if you can kindly let me go because seasons before Johnson mu ma doon toppa pour dem ports but the lawyer because you know
Yeah.
even amon noonu so made didn't want me to leave. Yeah, I understand. But circumstances made me to leave because me too, I want to have Bugana join national team. But I didn't have that chance because Paul put Muna Pateleku call nama. Minima, I would like to select you, but you are not having playing time, and I cannot give you that. You know, if you have playing time, then I can call you up. But okay, this is it. This is it. This is the time for me to move to find. Yeah, because at that time, ports kire ka fa nekon nakalo to that. Nakalo to that. Eh, ay, turu mirir na wanak.
Yeah. But it's fine. It's fine.
Pat, no, do papis. Fate na di, why muna after na recall to ram, move forward. So, mag don push a living like the play hide and seek Bonu at that time. But no, still I can play for Gamtel because the loyalty I have for Gamtel and the love because throughout my beginning, Gamtel la hamon. So, sumanare change it will be strange for me. So that breaks the camel's back. My bugay took a selected one. So I wrote my man mabina small letters. Joko Gamtel management. Management, it's high time for me to move since I think the coach, I'm not in his plans. So ñom tam ñu feel ne okay, I've given them enough. You understand? Serve na len enough. So ñom tam ñu ne ma all right fine dinañ la jox transfer bi nga mëna dem ports. So non la gëné Gamtel ma join ports.
Wow. Interesting. How was life in ports? So, got a basic and new water to this under 17, under 20 we are senior national teams.
Yeah, Ports was the stepping stone as well because Ports family la. Ports family la. Because the second stepping, I can say the second stepping stone to my career because from Fofu la Dora the play, muna amati sumo confidence. The Paul put Oyatima in national team, but Ports was a family. To be honest, it was a family because Ports that was only how many Ports. Mostly guy bad you at that time. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a few guy cowboy record of it, but so it was also guy band. So it was a great feeling to join Ports at that time. But look again on na hari one moy. Kuma fa on buma dem mom tam ñu ko bay ñu ko da moy bonu at that
Yeah.
time. So sila juga duga si mom tamin. But we had that family hood in Ports. It was a great feeling to join Ports at that moment. Yeah.
Was it difficult for you to settle in? Because Kula don't
Not
bring a new mom whilst you were going in mom don't gain.
no, it was not difficult. It was not difficult at all because so lucky Bumo Duge Ports, right? Because most of them knew me. They knew me
Yeah.
already. They knew what I can do. So I think I sat for like say one season. I think the first round, I didn't play. I was on the bench, but the second round I started playing, and then I was like, if I want to be the first choice here. I have to show myself because du ma ñëw rek gars yi duñ ma du ma ñëw fii tamit bu nekk di toog bench so suma chances yi pour dem si national team bi tamit dafa slim so I must show myself and they knew who I was and what I'm capable of doing so bu ma ñëwee ma form that solidity behind them you understand they bokka mun a jox gars that naka la confidence pour ñu am confidence in man pour ma mun a bokka port mun a play ak gars
During those days, the league was very, very tense, very interesting, very quality players you might play at the time.
yeah.
Who was your opponent as a striker who you face, in the league?
In the league, my starting time boobu ñoom Baba Ye ñu ngi woon ci league bi. I could remember Baba Ye jox na ma mark. Waaw ma daal mi ngi déglu wala waaye jox na ma mark. I remember playing Bakau United against Gamtel at the stadium. Ku xam kii naka la Baba Ye ak shots yu mu dee jël. They were fire la woon. So I remember then this. So dafa dañ amoon free kick. Passa wane dina attest to that game. Dañ amoon free kick. Baba Ye expect moo woon ne moom dina kick dafa taxawoon moo am na kenn ku taxawoon de. So man maa ngi doon jàpp ne kooku ku mooy kick. Ndekete Baba Ye moom mu ngi tuule di ñëw. So moom hitee I felt the velocity. Well, I have time when I okay. Nawetan league dafa ute. You understand? So ñu bari dañu no yeb dena la way dafa ute because at that time yaa ngi am more mature players ñoo xam ne ñu ngi woon si game bi before you. So tactically they know what to do and where to run and what else to do. So I remember that hit. Suma boppa bi moo bona. Si cross ba nakala tudal. Si point baa bi la dal so si la ñëw moom sax dafa ñëw daf ma yore mu ñëw mu ne ma am nga so all of am settled suma raka ku go be ñaadi ma wol ko ma ko toke e lafta kam faale ko ku go be ñaadi mu ne ma doke na singo mol mu ka maade ya male goletin na ngeje I was like, well, this is it. This is the game. But I had so many strikers I played against. Nyom Daddy Gai, Nyom Bierhoff. They were very little people. They were very little. Because the slightest chance was Amdal. Didn't look at the time we are Nyom Tubabu, Nyom Os Jalo. League B was very intense. Because at that time, Gamtel, they knew that or Stoke. Because you didn't players you have Stoke City. Because then among player yoo xam ne they are very physical. You understand? Ba pare dañ daan parel game. You understand? So it was very tense. Game time boobu league bi du daan yomba daal because game boo dem play rek xamal ne di nga fight that game. So,
because the interesting part is some of those players, then you play under 17 or under 20 and come back again and
play in the league. Exactly. Because the likes of ñoom Paco Kor ñoom Dawda Ba yaa understand so ñooñu noonu soo daan play a guy rek soo déggee seen tour sax dang dee ne no tey foog nga am game because at any given time sa net bi either mu yëngatu wala nga def safe so you must be concentrated ready for that game because league bi was very intense. It was very intense because time nga dégga wali daan nga am ñoom Os Diallo ñoom Zico ñoom Ibrahima Sohna gang. They had young players, but they were very little because they punish you at any time. So the league was very intense at that time. For intense on at that time.
Wow. So that's incredible.
Yeah.
So your Caesar living understanding. Lutanga forgot the league that was that because was it that because most of the players hamnenne by then you not scout national team players is Sibiri living Sibiri league was that the reason Luta every game that they attend because okay so I'm a good game also I'm a good season you have a high chance of playing for the Gambia national team.
Yes, because at that time opportunities yi bari wutoon comme léegi. yaa understand because léegi mun ngaa play nawetaan ni nit gis la sax ne la nañ dem ma yóbbu la fii nga am trial ak yooyu but at that time opportunities yi bari wutoon and the passion we had for football at that time dafa bari woon yu bari yaa understand so and also like you said it gives you chance pour nga mun a play either the under 17 under 20 under 23 ak national team. You understand? So it was that intense boo xam ne every game boo dem play xamal ne you are going to meet good caliber players yoo xam ne mun nañ la punish at any time. So you have to be ready. So at that dëgga loolu tamit was part of it because so shiny for that season you might be called in the national team under 17 under 20 anyone. So you must have to be in your A game at any time.
So Walidan has some players you have they ended up so many of them representing the Gambia at the national team. So apart from your in Jamtel, young playing in Hamon at that time, you have outfield players they ended up playing for the Gambia.
Yes, I could remember outfield players because no ndabala more them fogumane won me once in national team but pa sawane pa baji ñu ngi amoon benn flank player bu tuddoon pa baji mu ngi dëkkoon Lamin pa sawane as well was part of Mumtansi under 23 at that time and ñu ngi amoon ay players but they were not that into the national team because am national team bi tamit so shine torop si season boobu dañ la daa mën a for trial but du daan it was not like you are going to be selected every now and then but it depends on your performance during the season and your games during the league so bari wuñu woon because at most goalkeeper yi mostly ñoom ñoo daan dem represent at most from Gamtel at that time. So for ports, dan like the likes of Tijan, Demba Savage, Pamodu Jan, Magi Pamodu tamit, striker bi naka tuda. Turi pagere bopa bi legi. You were having those type of players part of a new butut, you understand? So you were having those types of, but for Gamtel it was not that much. It's more of the goalkeepers at that time. Like I mentioned earlier on, we were blessed with good goalkeepers at that time. Gamtel, da nga xamne ñun dañ da mëna jox suñ bopa games yo xamne sa dañ ko play. So that was it.
But for many Chafka be ñi ñoko amon naka Ports Walidan ak Steve Bugol.
Yeah, at that time, yes. At that time, Walidan, Real de Banjul, Hawks dañ si daan bokk because Hawks tamit dañ daan produce players yu baax. They now produce players yu baax. So you know those top cream teams at that time because competition before la daan nekk. You understand? Because time boobu ñoom Brikama United ñoo anguñ si scene bi. So I understand. So it was those teams ñoom Masose, ñoom Walidan, Real de Banjul, Hawks ak ñooy noonu. So from foofu lañ daa mën a select daal. So the likes of Gamtel was not that of a big club because at that time winuñ woon dara lu mag. So you must be outstanding pour ñu mun laa jël foofu noonu indi la si national team bi. I understand. So that was the same. So ñun dañ daan gis ne okay since ne goalkeeper yi moo lañ daan so we have to be outstanding. You understand? Because suñ la winute like I said Stoke lañ ñu daan ooyee suñ la winute dañ laa duroo. Boobu moom xam nga ko because dañ amoon player yoo xam ne they were physical and they were ready to die. Amoon nañ skillful players ñoom Maasi Youth Ñaakaasi Pasawane. I think Pasawane was a midfield player, but after then Alai Sila dafa gis talent mu wàcce ko as a defender. Am na yéena yum daan def sama Pasawane sorry de waaye am na yéena yoo daan def dam daan tiim de no moom mooy woon the only centre back boo xam ne yow striker soo ñëwee daf laa laab ku di imagine da risque bo si gannaaw bi no amul noo mel dafa try pour lab la dal pour muna am because he was that confident xam nga playing as a midfield player so dam ko de wax ne boy nekkuloo di play midfield de sa yéenay may ko bu ko dee def but loolu ne ko ci xelam moom he feel free when he plays
Well, acha.
So then to see under 17B, how was it like 2005? Oh, them now. Why am not late with you? You what time under
hello
17? So
wow
okay,
okay
under 17B 2005. You know how does it feel like to be part of that? You know, generation of players, especially you have
uh,
they make in this country.
it was a pleasure to join that team to be honest it was the really a pleasure to join that team because at first man nekkuma woon si picture bi because time boobu ñun told ñun doon play si peace tournament bi la doore voilà si peace tournament bi la doore fii
Yeah,
so ñoom told ñu fa woon man dañ ma daan invite ma dem training but I was not lucky for some certain time yoo xam ne selectuñ ma understand so for the peace tournament tamit selectuñ ma woon daan dem training but selectuñ ma woon ba gars yi dugga camp ak yooyu noonu then for the under 17 as well because at that time yaa ngi fa amoon kii naka la tudda Baboucar Suso
Abdullah. Okay,
Ablaye Ndiaye ak Surwa Bojang Surwa
right.
nekkoon Biko waaw
Okay.
ñoom lañ jëloon ci
Yeah,
under 17 bi waaye man I was invited to train with them but bu gaa doon select dañ ma drop bu gaa doon dem training camp fii Egypt pour mun a ñëw play tournament bi fii
yeah.
but nonetheless bu gaa ñëwee I joined them again pour di train rek you understand so because mu naa fa bunu moo ma call mu ne ma anyways ñu ngee dem but when we come back we will join the team pour train ma ne leen okay that's fine so from there on ma continue suma education again so mënuma woon a tukki ak team bi so bu gaa ñibbisee dam daan join guys seen training for some time then after tournament bi door so da ngaa gis ne ñetti keeper rek lañ register woon at that time so bu gaay ñëwee kii Surwa Bojang unfortunately dafa amoon accident I think it was Egypt foog naa dafa weer moo daanu si tànkaam or something like si luñ ma explain ne weer moo ko dog so mënutoon a future si under 17 boobu noonu te at that time foog naa ñaari goalkeeper rek lañ daan register so moom teelutoon a wér yeah so noonu la bot man every game dam daan nekk si kaw toog foofu noonu then after man dam daan ñibbi de nekk moo woon in camp at that time so noonu laa doore si under se ba buñ qualifié foog naa si la Osam Dudu meet ak kii na bonu ne ko okay now we can include Christopher Allen because Surwa doesn't seem like dina teel a wér pour mun a catch up at form am pour mun a ñëwaat si under 17 bi so man noonu lañ ma dugalee foofu noonu but still now coach bi daf doon def assessment mooy Osam Dudu because for Ablaye Ndiaye ak Baboucar Suso Baka ñoom same place was already cemented so they were looking for a third choice boo xam ne dinañ ko mun a boole pour mun a dem si World Cup bi under 17 so at that time so dañu invite woon nañ ma ak beneen goalkeeper tamit mun a fàttaliku mu kan la woon so making it 5 keepers so da nga gis ne man maa kooku we were on assessment so whoever is fit would join the selected 18 already yaa understand so ñun dañ doon nekk baako pour mun a join pour mun koo def 22 man squad pour ñu dem so noonu laa ñëwee into the picture pour under 17 bi yeah.
How was it like working with the late Osam Dudu?
Daddy noonu la man noonu lañ ko dee ooyee de ñeenay daddy lañ ko dee ooyee because he was everything to us because I could remember balaa may bokka I was not playing any of the friendly games in that Amsi Stadium before New Dem. So I remember one day, then I'm on friendly game. Ang bena team ni Bakaw. So magis ne bokum even select mo for play. I was so sad at that day because I was very punctual training. The frequent training. So I was so sad at the point I shed tears. But ñu bari gisuñ ko won nak. Wana Pierre Gomez rek a xamone ne ki mi ngi sad. Pa Pierre waaw. So I think ki Lamin Sambu LS moo ma gis mu ne ma Chris li xew ma ne ko LS ma ne ko dafa métti nag xam nga ngay ñëw train every day very punctual yow fii nga ma dee fekka soo ñëwee mu ne ma waaw yow you are very punctual ma ne ko di train suba ngoon ba pare friendly games di am nekkuma di play so dafa métti trop xam nga di wees sa tay ñëw fii te doo train ak yooyu noonu mu xool ma foog naa Osam Dudu laaj LS lu xew so LS explainal ko ne dafa sad ne nekkul di play daf day ñëw fi Osam Dudu testify ne ok dëgg la man sax su ma ñëwee léegi daf day fekk Chris toog fii di xaar so he has the right gis naa ne léegi fu mu nekk nii bugg naa play mun naa play because I need this type of players yoo xam ne suñ play sax they feel very sad because pare nañ pour wone ne dinañ la jox yëpp so that was how si following friendly game bi moom ta beneen team la biir foog naa xaw ma 6-0 lañ door ñëw team boobu noonu force up sax Osam Dudu call of training bi because team boobu noonu daf doo waste suñ time rek so that was how I cemented myself in that under 17 yeah that was how I cemented myself in that under 17.
Do you recall the first time before, in fact, then travel when you were told, you know what, Chris, I'm sorry, you're not traveling with the team for the training camp. I'm so with all the enthusiasm ak yaakaar nga ñëw rek ñu ne bro yow moom mënu ñëw dem ak yow. I'm sure you must be disappointed at that time. And it's painful as well as a young player.
Yes, it was painful, but I felt it was coming because at that time, you understand, he has his guy amun nañ seen structure be pare. So me coming in would have been a backup at that time. So awma woon yaakaar ne dinañ ma yóbbu at that time because I was just coming in. You understand? But also it was very painful, You wanted to be part of that crop of players because you know them. You are playing with them. You are playing with them in the league. You know how good they were. So you wanted to be part of that team to be, to represent our country because that's every footballer's dream, to represent his country. So I was very disappointed, but nonetheless, it didn't make me to waver. I fought hard because Muna remember after Bunma dropped that weekend, ñu ngi amoon league game. I went in and I played a very good game. Bonwang forward, gis nañ ko. So that gave me the chance as well to be called up again. You understand? Because suma demon, I'm gonna fall si game buy the sad and all that stuff. Duñ ma doon muna oya because I took it up on my chin and said, okay, you know what? This is a failure. Maybe it's a stepping stone for me to do more, to be part of that team again. So at the end, with my selector, I was like, yeah, I worked hard for it. I was very happy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Moving forward, how was Peru like? I know the historical landmark in Peru when Gambia was paired to play against the likes of Brazil, Nigerian countries. That must be a great moment for all the Gambians because I'm so much is a good and play. You'll be glued to their TV sets just to watch the Gambia, beat Brazil
Yeah.
and you see. How was that feeling like as a young player who dreamt of playing for the national team, but most expecting they will come this far? Like you remember Makati Square, Boy Dila or Purungai them, player guy, don't load that. to a stage where you reach to the highest level of football in under 17. To an extent, the Gambia beating Brazil. That must be a dream, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It was because when defee drawings we ben yegne Brazil dañoo am Brazil ak Holland as well. So we were like, huh, this is it. So ñun ñëpp dinañ feeñ di at this time because Brazil at that time nga dégg Brazil rek sa fit bi dem na njëkka. You understand? So it was an atmosphere boo xam ne everybody was ready for it as well because it was xam nañ ne nit ñi dinañ seetaan. You understand? And then people you market yourself there as well. But it was a great feeling. Though I think nerves were not that much because we believed in ourselves. But coach bi daf ñu daa wax ne they don't know how you play. You understand? They've never watched you play. So you go and surprise them because they didn't watch you play. They don't know how you play. So go in and surprise them. So that performance was not a surprise to me at all. Maybe some it was, but to us we know that we are capable of giving them a blow because I remember when you them training, they were hotel bunyekon. They were ahead. They were top ahead. You knew once you lower deck, we knew on the higher. So Suga they watch us. We were like, these guys we are very intimidating when they are coming down. You understand? Tears, air, table, air, living in the. They do some music. They do. We were just the local boys singing, just entering. So we were like looking at them, Yeah, these are the players, John Marcelo Agenge, these were the players, because I'm not kena kundawan that muna dribble ak bopa. Yeah. So we were like, we are going up against these people. So, but that fear factor was there, but not that much. Because Osam Dodo was a type of person, Bohamle. So, you have belief. You understand? So, Munafa, then meeting on. These guys don't know you. You understand? So, just go and surprise them. So, we were all eager to play against Brazil. You understand? So, and definitely that game, that game was a good game. We surprised them a lot. I remember after coming, sila new guy respect. When play a guy,
Yeah.
then because they showed that respect after because they never knew us because senior Holler and then Pala Gambia joge be muna win Brazil at that time. So it was a good motivation at that time because game the feeling you have and we knew that the Gambia also the fans behind would have would love those type of games and we gave our all. Definitely the boys gave their all at that time and we believed in ourselves at that time. We believed in ourselves so much that whoever we are we would have won you because luñ bugo one more definitely was good and we had Osam Dudu. No, to be honest, he was a great coach. He did a lot for us.
I want to Sona said the same thing. Mune, how much you got to be again to the power ball, the different eye bagasa.
Yeah, just to intimidate us. That's all.
Coming back to Osam Dudu, do you think, in your own opinion, Osam Dudu were not this Gambia for at least 3 or 4 or 5 more years, things will have been very, very different in terms of the caliber of players, the mentality. Because Lone Kadiwa mentality, like Coach Bula, those kind of mentality, Bula one, Dugal si feel, you munda si 100. Understand? Do you think we will have different, in terms of performance, in terms of the quality of players that we produce? So can Osam Dudu nekon na at least for 3 more or 5 more years?
Yes, definitely. He would have got munon na ñëw am lu bari under Osam Dudu. Dafa nekk dafa am mun naa ne dafa am contacts moom si boppam and also he knows how to develop young players.
Okay.
So ko bàyyi xel, and he was there bu moo pour Ghana when they, I think saying under 17 balaa mooy move fii.
Yeah.
Could you believe naa leen ne Osam Dudu moo tax at that time ñu ñoo fay salary end of month. Can you imagine? Yeah. How man that boy si waxuñ le soxna wale why he was the one.
Tell us about it. Tell us about it.
Yeah, because dafa gis ne football at that time xam nga ñoom eewu nañ woon Ghana, they know football, they know everything. Dafa gis ne football is something that it's like a walk. You cannot call on people and then 10 times you waste and then you don't give them something. And at that time, players at that time, they were some of them were the breadwinners in their families. You understand? Because you remember, Ken Mungi ñëwoon fii di wax ne moom bu moo dem training xaw ma mango rek la chop. And that was true. Da nga gis ne ñun balaa ñooy train sax dañoo dem di uti buro bulet ak buro bota balaa ngay train. So Osam Dudu gis ne lii is not going because ñi footballer lañ waruñ di lekka diw balaa ñooy play ak yooyu noonu. You understand? So foog naa mu def something like at least a package boo xam ne every month dañ ñoo fay. So and there was this thing boo xam ne ñun tamit we had that dañ am naka laa ko mën a waxee sax to pay him back because moom daf ñu daan fightal. Daf ñu daan fightal si FA level bi. So da nga gis ne suñ ñëwee like end of month nii suñ ñëwee fayuñ ñu daf ñu dee laaj did they pay you ñu ne déedéet no go home, don't talk to anybody, let them come to me. So obviously am nga ku la defaral loolu yow tam soo ñëwee si field bi obviously foog nga jox ko yëpp.
Yeah.
And that is how we were to him. He was our father. He was our father because he fights for you, and also you also equally you fight for him when you are in the field of play. So lot and so setan swing games dan they gis different because dan they gis ku nekk dey hungry pour play, ku nekk dey hungry pour joxe. So he was that type of player. So suñ ko fi bayon in a 5-year period, football in Gambia daf don dem at that time daf don pass a level bobu because he was also another administrator boo xam ne he knows football. You understand? He has contacts, he knows football. So that was the type of person he was. So ba pare daf ñu indi together ba nga xam ne we were like a family. Ku di ma ñun suñ demee comme play yi nii si biti duñ daan génna because mu ne yéen young players ngeen, so you should not be going out. Su ñooy génna rek as a team la fuñ mun a dem as a team. So that cohesiveness mu ngi woon suñ biir. So da nga gis ne loolu moom moo ko build suñ biir. We were each other's keeper. And also balaa ñuy play dañ daan am meeting in ourselves, within ourselves ñun players yi boo xam ne coach du sa bokka, kitman du si bokka, dara du ci bokka, ñun players yi neen ñu ñoo fa nekk di xasante. You understand? So loolu dafa motivé ku nekk dañoo ñëw ne la bés de last game bi defuloo lii dam daa enjoy. So gisee Ibrahima Soxna ak Tidiane mun a dimbale each other duñ daan juboo de comme su ñëwee si meeting yi nii si meeting yi nii ku nekk daf daa maas sa boppa. So obviously da nga gis ne foog nga put up something boo xam ne di nga mun a because ñoom ñaar ñoo nekkoon si midfield bi. So da nga gis ne Tidiane daf ko ne Soxna yow dimbale wuloo ma woon nii next time nga dimbale ma. Soxna tamit dafa ñëw def nii. So that was it. So xam nga with that constructive criticism yoo xam ne dinañu mun a dimbale. yaa understand? So loolu moo ñu daan pousse. So yow tam da ngaa rus pour ne next time balaa Soxna di ñëw suma kaw xaaral ma put up xam nga ma def 50% wala 100%. balaa kii di ñëw suma kaw xaaral ma def nii. So da ngaa gis ne loolu daf ñu daan move together. So loolu Osam Dudu moo ko build in ñun. yaa understand? So suñ ko fi bàyyoon for 5 years or more the Gambia at that time dinañ doo wax leneen. Yeah. So he was that pivot in Gambian football. Definitely, he was that pivot in Gambian football.
Well, that's an interesting story. Base, you still want to ask about Osam or the under 17 while you move on?
Now Chris mu ngi gën a neex la waxtaan bi mu ngi gën a neex la wax.
So I mean, some types of experience you have to narrate them. Pour ñu xam ne this was it. You enjoyed that time. At that time, you enjoyed the football. Was at that time, maga yakamte meet ak boys yi. There was this cohesiveness ba nga xam ne even suñ ñib see sax dañ daa mun a koolante dem seeti wante because miinante nañ ba pare. You understand? So nekk one even si ligue bi sax suñ ñëwee sax suñ play ba pare ni comme like Wally daan play na Gamtel da nga gis nu ñoo demee xogante waxtaan ree ak yooyu noonu. So that was in us ba to the 20 level ba nga xam ne ku nekk xam nga professional wise door na di am. So da nga gis ne separation bi door na di am but nonetheless dañ daa mun a communicate towards each other.
So the under 20 in Canada as well, that generation 2005 never graduate to the 2007 batch. Before that, Pingen you're gonna play one. Was it Congo Brazzaville, right?
Wow, under 20, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why you see
Bobu, it was also another experience because my father qualifiers it was a very very tough because ñu amon likes of Mali ak Morocco fogna Morocco so by because I remember when we were playing in Morocco then it was a funny story. Then you take on match bonus. I think win then at that time $10,000 is for win. I remember Daji man ma Daji ñu ngi won ci bench bi ak is it Sana ñaasi ñu ngi won ci bench bi so Daji daf do way xam nga daf do way suñ noppay hey win $10,000 win $10,000 yeah understand so after si game bi ñu lead foog na dañ lead on Morocco I think 1-0 no sorry I think 1 so guy equalize so Daji mu ngi won si bench bi you understand because xam nga that camaraderie am nañ ko si under 17 so few addition ñoom Daji ak ñeneen ñi foog ñu bari woon nañ daal ñoo si under 20 bi so already that core move fa ba pare we know each other already you understand so ñu ñëw tamit they formed in it ñoom tam ñu bokk si so I remember that game till I think the qualifiers because after when to win a performance so we just had 2 games to play to qualify which was Morocco and Mali so you play bir Morocco you were leading 1-0 after guy equalized you xam nga naari rek ak seen shenanigans you were there up so guy equalized so Daji that 10,000 was already in his head you knew si bench bi Daji ngay wait 10,000 ma ne ko Daji concentrate mu ne ma no I'm ready xam nga all of am setu mu ne maa ngi pare ñu ngi woon si bench maa ngi pare waaw at a point in time mu ne ni bonu dugal ma dama score he had that belief yeah he had that belief ne dafa su duggee dafa score and he went in free kick bi moo ko score 2-1 yeah because that he had that belief ne dañoo qualify and dañoo am 10,000
$10,000 bang si side
bi waaw so mu dem ci point in time mu dem ci bon mu ko dugal ma dama score Mr. B dama score and he went in and he scored the equalizing goal for us but unfortunately mënuñoo am 10,000 am nañ 5,000 so mu nga sadness boobu muy woon ci kanam so from there ñu ñëw home ñu ñëw play si fii then I was fortunate to play that game because at that time foog naa Ablaye Ndiaye was already out foog naa ma Nding la woon Panding kii tamit was already out Baka was already out Baboucar Suso so I was man ma Panding ñoo fa nekkoon
okay
but unfortunately Panding foog naa dafa gaañu woon that game so man ma step in ma play against Morocco home fii
okay
so I remember we dañ la mujjee woon doon door si 2-0
okay
wow so and then from there ñu dem naka tudda Mali pour suñ last game bi pour so winner qualify pour under 20 tournament. Because by then Mali was a very strong team. I remember our captain Ken Malamin. He was a pillar. He was a pillar in that under 20. Yeah, definitely, because he was that. Yes, he was that captain figure. My nigga Ken Sohna Munkodawa last time. He was that captain figure. When you have him at the back, I'm gonna leader bu fa nekk. So we Mali so leen bàyyoon xel amoon na striker bu njool ni am doole. At that time. Striker bu am doole. And so xoolee xaytam ak kii naka tudda Ken moo suit Ken fuuf. But could you imagine Ken daf doon win aerial duels over that guy? In Mali, he gave that guy a tough time. They ko guy waaji daf ko mujjee gaañ na xar fii sax. So which shows you ne so sa captain su demee ba gaañoo nii. Definitely you also must have to step up pour na play because that game we had a good game in the Mali, and then we came here and finish off the game because it was a good encounter against those big teams at that time because ñun ñëpp miinante nañ xamante nañ xam nañ nu ñoo move ak nu ñoo play, so it was very easy for us to play against those teams because we knew them. They were very tactical, and most of them were francophone countries. They used to play through the flanks, so xam nañ leen ba pare accent tactics. So coming to the under 20 tournament in Congo Brazzaville also was an other enjoyable moment as well because remembering that journey as well, it was nice. And we had good teams that we played with in the likes of Nigeria, because that game was the game for us. But unfortunately, we lost that game. Yeah, so it was good. It was a good tournament, absolutely. Because again, I narrate Daji as well, because from our last game. I think it was against where is it, Burkina Faso, I guess, because win la won pour ñu qualify pour under 20 World Cup as well. So that game as well, Daji was very instrumental. Boom dugasi. Okay. Because from now mi won mom ta xam nga it feels like xam nga am na ñoo xam ne si game di ñëw nii dañ dee am that belief ne ñoom suñ duggee dinañ def impact. Wow. Yes, and that was Daji. Because dafa door game bi dañ door rek mu ne ni boy tey dama score. Xam nga ma ne ko Daji yow balal me ñu jàmm yow tamit. You understand? No, Chris, ba score la le bi. Nin dunta bi ba score la le. So that was his belief, and we all believe ne this was the game for us to set another living nakala to that. Historic moment for Gambia as well to qualify for under 20 World Cup, which was in Canada. So game bobu, I think we won 2-1, and Daji was the one that passed that goal as well. So it shows you know we were up for it at that time because foundation was set already from the under 17 coming up. So we had that bond already. So even fees time boobu noonu ñun dañ daa mën a compete ak national team bi training games nii, and it was difficult for them to even win us. So at am na games yoo xam ne ñoom suñ ñëwee pour play pour am seen tournament national team yi ñun ñu ngi fi woon dañ daa mën a amantu ay lifin friendly games si suba nii. So which shows you ne that team was very solid from the under 17 coming to the under 20, and that DR Congo game Brazzaville was the stepping stone as well for each and every one of us, because at that moment sila ñëpp door di am professional contract di sign, so I guess ne ñu ngi door di detach those players from the under 20 as well.
Gajaga, welcome. Mr. Gajaga.
Gajaga de Martina de.
Mo internet am boy. Mo internet problem ya.
Mom duga gut sa muy dem boy.
Marako
Boy,
kiss mo.
kama jo la gamtel connection nga connect.
War nga ko jot am tele because mom kiss am bi boy.
No, Dubai Crystal bo.
Chris, so I know that story was a very incredible one, especially winning the bronze medal. Like the family success story, we them top up from under 17, then get them under 20. You know, them Canada at the world stage. That must be a special moment for all the players because the will be punta you bari through majority of players. You know, they don't know your play.
Sure.
Mr. Gajaga.
Wow, because at that point, because Munna Fatel under 7 coming back to the under 17, I'm not scouts yo xamne dañ da ñew but osam dudu dafa de ko xamne dafa protective on torop ya understand because mom lum ñu explain alone ni am na yena scouts yo xamne sen interest rek lañ fa nekkalon. So mom he was looking out for us. So legally do don't even invite guys pour ñu ñew fofu nonu. Ya dañ day ñew ci hotel bi but duñ da am chance pour gis ken because at that time we are very young. Let's concentrate on football and then what we do on the pitch will sell you out. Yeah, understand. So from there on, so we have built that already. When move to under 20 be as well. Fofla in trials yu bari doore di ñew because maya muna fatele ko bala ñoy dem Canada some of the players were not with us. They met us in Canada, some in America, because they had trials before joining us. The likes of Sohna, the likes of Os Jalo, Zico, you understand. So those players and Ken Mansali as well. So you then you mujhe feka some of them then you feka near America for the training camp bala ñuy mëna dem Canada.
Mr. Gajaga.
Saya dégut leen ben tay de.
Acha dal mun nga lifin.
Gajaga, am na network bi ay seconds la boy. Bala mu ñu diga. Gajaga.
Del am nga.
So, Chris, very interesting. So, okay, finance wala kile sa. Mane, walk me to this Canada. I know na same group vitamin how na tanga tuti, playing in the competition, but it's another wall of exposure to majority of the players you have, play on them say under 17. Now have the opportunity to play, especially under Bruno Johnson at the time.
What time been na torop? What time been na torop?
Wow, I did it.
Man mo ko may ñew rek moy ne quality of the football. Wow, man nga la dega. Yang may dega.
Wow, ñu la dega.
Mala dega.
Lamin sa dog na la de haral mu la te question
bofu. Understand na ay mo mu ci second ci gannaaw bari ci gannaaw way.
Boy ñu la dega. Hello.
Gajaga, you can ask your question. We are just listening.
Acha del mu nga
ñoo dem su duga sere waaw su duga sere ñëw
mu ngi déglu ba léegi so Chris mun nga proceed wala ma repeat waati question bi
waaw repeat la question sorry suma battery back do loon down
man lu may wax rek mooy Chris mu def comparison tuuti in terms of quality of football ñoom time bu doon play si league bi 2005 2006 yooyu noonu soo ko compare léegi league bi man dama dee seetaan league matches yi léegi but I'm not so impressed with the quality of football si man daal seen jamono moo daxoon how ma yow lan mooy sa assessment si quality of football in the league right now and yen seen time bi 20 years ago.
I would say at that time the quality, because we were very passionate when it comes to football. Sorry, the balal le mama shift. Charger wa am problem too.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine, Chris.
Sorry about it. So come no call latte. At that time, the passion for football, you play football. I think league as so low. Some of the most of them, these young boys, are looking for professional contracts. So it makes, because at that time passion was there. Because amuñu woon opportunity. You understand? Not, but you can see some talents in this current generation. But at that time, yagi am photo yo xamne ñum ñola doom gëna push pour play, because so play ute, yeah, so wone ute sa bopa do mëna play, because you have some good caliber players at that time ñoo xamne the moment nga form rek you are out of the team and they will come in. But legi, most of them are looking at it, okay, they want to sign contract, some of them, but nonetheless they have talents. But at that time, the passion was there. The passion was there. You will see the raw passion in within the lads playing in that at that time. So I can. That's the thing, because the passion is the difference there. Because so by hell at that time, I'm the likes of ñoom comme nu ma ko waxee ñoom Paco at that time, ñoom Dawda Bah di play si league bi before guy di dem. So you would also step up, because you've been hearing them. Also, you are coming to play with them. So you must step up. So passion bi daal man dama ne passion bi at that time, at this time, it's different.
Del.
Yeah, so just a quick summary on 2007 in Canada. Following success in Congo, Brazzaville, 2005 win the AFCON, under 17 free Gambia, then Peru. How was it like working under Bonu Johnson in 2007? Because 2007 Momofa Nekon during the time Bola Nekon Canada.
Yeah, because Bonu also was a good mom, I can say, because so by hell, like I mentioned earlier on, a group Bohamnela, we formed from the under 17 coming up. So they were just few additions. We already knew each other. So that built up. So Mumla Bonu continue, because he was there since from the under 17. He knows each and every one of us. Yeah, I understand. So Lola built on mo mun ñoo motivate ñun tam ñu mëna ñëw, because only few addition ñoo fa nekkon. So da nga gis ne he was also a very good one, because tactically he was good. You understand? He was very good, and we also knew what we wanted. So we had to push. You understand? To give him tough time, even to select a level to play. Then got that tough time for real, because everybody was stepping up. Everybody wanted to show himself. So daf daan nekk a tough time boo xam ne moom sax daf daan daf ko daan dafa difficult on pour mu mun a select level. Yeah.
That's incredible. So let's talk about your debut in the national team in 2012. 2012 nga defoon sa debut with June 2nd 2012. Senior
Yes.
national team, and you remember Luciano Mancini, Italian coach.
Yes. Wow. Well, remember now, I played my debut against Tunisia. That was in Tunis. A friendly game when I'm on near Tunis. I think but they would have a Ganyu one. I'm not sure. From not a Ganyu one or something like that. Then we want to win 2-1 that game. I don't know whether you can recall.
Yeah.
But that was my first time playing for the national team. You understand? So I was also privy to train a guy, but I was because at that time I'm on goalkeeper coach be Monta Italian la one. Monta Italian la one. So at
How
that
was the
time,
communication barrier? Because I remember you at the time we struggled to understand Luciano Mancini,
no,
communication.
no, my English was terrible. Was terrible. But the key goalkeeper coach be at that time, his English was good. You understand? It was good, but not that good. But mom tam mom legi mom modo muna translate ye na isa pour ñu muna diga ñu xam lu mbuga. You understand? But I remember the bala living Gambia Senegal just missed out as a qualification. I was supposed to travel with the national team at that time, but ñu ngi amon to na under 20 qualifiers bu ñoo Ghana fii. So goalkeeper coach be Italian. The moment no, you cannot go. Let Joe Gomez go because you're going to because at that time any mistake bo muna def fofu nono daf la damage. Daf la damage because it's a higher competition. Bo xamne at any time you could have come in, but at that time Musa Baja mo fa nekon. So mo nding tamit mujjé na dem ak mom. So moom noonu la ñu lifine loolu la ma advice ne concentrate on the 20 for now and then after you can go to the national team. So moom moo taxoon that game demuma si Gambia Sénégal at that time because ñu ngi amoon game fii ak Ghana qualifiers pour the second lifin second qualification bi pour World Cup bi
Under 20 World Cup, right?
Wow. When you Ghana,
When
they knock out
generation
fee.
ñom IUB won, right?
Exactly. Wow.
Yeah. I remember
But
those days.
the Canada was a mom tam benen delfin la one stepping stone bo xamne that we learned a lot from it because at that time bro no to represent your country at some point xam nga sacrifice la sacrifice ya muna fatale ko ñu aga si airport bi we were in different clothes. Could you imagine, bro? Kuy déglu ni bokk si team boobu noonu dala ko mën a wax because I remember bu nekk si airport bi America landed very uniformed. Could you imagine? They were very uniformed. But guy didn't have because we were like sitting at the airport. I understand. Could you ki sol Adidas, ki sol Puma, ki sol Jacko, boy, we were hungry, but nonetheless, we were just passionate to represent our country. You understand? We sacrificed a lot to reach that stage. So we didn't look at that at phone la once in at some point, but we were hungry at that time. We all know how it was. So we all wanted to sacrifice and play and show ourselves. So to be honest, it's definitely nice to represent your country, but also it's a sacrifice as well at some point.
Well, some people always see the players, they travel, do the plane, then play, but the other side of the coin, like you people are professionals. When you were playing at the time, you cannot come out and say it unless
Okay.
or otherwise, right?
Yeah,
You know, What you do the downside of being a professional player, while the player they represent your nation and put in all the sacrifice because there's no free dinner put on the table. You must all these professional ñoom Ronaldo sax tey leen jëna buga suñ playing a failing than but you have certain section of people ñoo xam ne they believe ne suñ player sa dëgg sax you should not be rewarded wala jox la loo xam ne loolu nga deserve. Talk to us about the challenges, the downside of being a player sacrificing for your country.
It comes in different ways because, to be honest, we sacrificed a lot. We sacrificed a lot because, yes, to be honest, at that time, infrastructure in the Gambia was not that. And comme nu ma la ko Osam Dudu dafa create lu bari for Gambian football. I understand. We had so many challenges in traveling, allowances, and all those stuffs. So there were so many challenges because, like you said, nit ñi dañ daa gis ne waa dañoo tukki ñi ñu ngi ni mbubool yi fekka ñun luñ xam rek xam nañ ko. But we wanted to represent our country. Sorry, Fogna, we wanted to represent our country. So, and it comes with some challenges you have. We have to just bite them and then move on because we wanted it. You understand? We fought for it. So there were so many logistics you have to do that access. You understand? Because I could take an example. Osam Dudu. He has his contacts. Adidas. He was the main person out. Lobby lolu nonu yep pour ñu mën ko sol. So these were the constraints you have dañ ko da am, and travel arrangements were very poor at that time. Dañu tok ay airport ay ñaata hours di hard connecting flights de gëlé ñu fanan fa sax bala ñoy dem fu ñu wara dem. So these were difficulties you have face nañ ko lu bari. So I feel the Gambian football still waroon na gina passé. It's at least léegi sax léegi tane na ba gaa di am chartered flight ak yooyu noonu yëpp, but this is it. So we are growing past those levels and those things, and I think there is still room for improvement, at least definitely, because at that time nit ñi dañ daa foog ne ñun dañ daa am lu ci nekk, but yàlla yaa jaame at that time. So su ñooy dem sa léegi-léeg mu koopal ñu jox ñu dara bi pour boy si la nii rek ñun tamit, because we were his sons by then. By then he was very proud of us, especially when we were in Brazil. Come like he called us from there by then. He was bragging at that time. The kude kala waxal mu ne maa ngi ne président Brazil maa ko ne Gambia that small contribute you. So you see that that pride and this thing buñ def at that time, it makes plenty so many people were happy. But I feel Gambia still has a long way to go in terms of football. In terms of because in definitely.
But why do you need to say, because when you people play in the hardest way, when things were even tough. But what do you think, Billy, you want to improve in order to see we move to the next level? Because I know the success story you have in Yolen Amon, that was in the past. But now, there are so many things you have perhaps we might need improvement. What do you think? Fallen wara kumase, fallen lalmo manke, lalin wara adjust a little bit. Because the writings are very clear on the wall.
Bala le mama move place tuti right there, but Bala le mama move somewhere else. Okay, just a minute.
That's fine.
Yes, una push. Push. Give me this. Okay, era magis, huh?
Yeah.
Lami, mun nga repeat the question, be sorry, but because my battery bad on them low.
Wow, man, man dama connect directly sir because live li no la def mom.
Mun nga repeat sa question bi sorry.
Comme lo xamne loolu lañ manqué lo foog ne loolu lañ wara improve on because back in the days the challenges were there but maneuver nañ ko I understand but ba léegi the writings are clear on the wall yow la nga foog ne loolu lañ mën a gis def pour mën a gis ne we move to the next level jógee si loo xam ne loolu lañ nekk nii.
Well, to be honest, I think right now they are doing well, but there are a lot of things they have to put it right. When it comes to the national team, I feel my opinion is the national team is not getting its recognition. You understand? And if you want to build those crop of players to be challenging for major tournaments, then you already organize friendly games. It's very key. Gambia hardly more organized friendly games. You understand? So ko bàyyi xel so it daf dee tax players yi duñ dee mun a naka laa ko mun a waxee integrate together as usual because at some point so tournament di am comme like qualifier di am rek nga dee gis gaay ñëw. I understand. And that do muna bring that understanding into football. But I feel that the association also has to help, and the country as well, the government. I know they are doing their best to see that we compete in each tournament, but I think there are lots of things that they need to do. One example in the country here, infrastructure has to be put. You understand? Like building stadium in Bente, Mingini. Munuñ fa am dara loo xam ne solid right léegi even clubs yi sax ñoom ñooy am naka la tudda seen own
parks
stadium parks yoo xam ne you understand dañoo mun a am and that is commendable because they are doing well to see football grow in this country as well. The kids are loving the game every now and then, so I think the association also has to put in more effort. I understand pour mun a build that capacity for Gambia. You understand? Because at some point, Senegal, so by health Senegal, they are junior levels. They were looking up to us.
Yeah,
but where are they? Where are they now? They are far ahead of us. Far ahead of us because Damdamuna Fateleku, go through Senegal. Then you don't comment because yéen seen cadeau yi baax nañ ñun suñ cadeau yaa ngi nii lekkadul rek lañ def. You understand? All of a sudden they went back to the drawing board and you gis seen faults yi you come back. Where are they today? You understand?
Yeah.
And that's it. So from now they have to step up in so many ways. You have mun naa dimbale football in Gambia because now fu mu nekk nii Gambia have more professionals, plenty professionals. You have they are playing outside. You understand? And we war nañoo since then ba léegi war nañoo step put president yoo xam ne fu mu nekk nii war nañ di compete every major tournament in Africa. Waruñ di mooy African Cup ak yooyu noonu waruñ di ko mooy at this point because fuñ jógee waroon nañoo passé lii. So I believe they have to be, they want to put in structures yoo xam ne they will definitely help the national team and also the other youth level teams yoo xam ne fii yoo xam ne dinañ mun a build up suñ national team bi daal. Like I said, friendly games is very key si national team because soo ko amutee rek doo gis that cohesiveness among players doo ko gis. So they have to do something. The government has to do something. The FA has to do something. They have to come together. Because we all know football in this country. Everybody is passionate about football in the country. You can get every now so you amute home games problem. Diga luneka. Ñun tam buga nañoo toog di dem si stadium di fay di seetaan di yuuxu suñ paree comme nu ko gaa daan def. But it's not there anymore. Maybe soon, but I hope they will have to do all those things to that you wanna set things you have dina muna indi wa football back.
Mr. Gajaga. Mr. Gajaga, naka na yang si ganawa ba lagi na?
So why you say gonna be like it, boy?
Ada del waja mun na lifin. Bay wa naka lang ba dina? Don't you start yang bukan na nyambas si bajaha.
Wow, lula ko pura la je ligay nga ak you know
no ito musa suko kotola.
When you to the working with them, you know, how was it like, you know?
Yes, it's an experience, and also definitely Manglena J. Delegerem, because these are people you have, they don't discourage once. Definitely, they support you to the full length. You understand? Because Badembo, I have the opportunity to Boka Mom, play up Mom. Boka Mom room at Musa Bajaha as well. Because Musa Bajaha Mom advice Mom definitely advice that motivation. Because even with today Nisa, Sumaraka, there is a training be bound. Why election them ni ga def ko bro du problem yo dal masa gannaaw rek so he was that very influential when it comes to suñ tajé ni. He was instrumental also Badembo as well. I commend him because I'm not buñ demone Belgium, I'm not time buñ dem Belgium. My first training at mom, it was different. So mom dafa gis ne I was very slow in so many things. So sila mo mu ne ma Alen li comme professional football la fu mu nekk nii ñoo doon play al Gambia ak ñoo xam ne ñoom ngay dem ti, they are different because those people are already there. So yow nooy play yaa ngi play Gambian standard ben tey ma ne ko bro loo miin mu ne ma you're very slow in your some certain areas yoo xam ne dinaa la fa dimbale. So suñ demee train all the time suñ train ba pare dang dee gis daf ma dee woon yéena yoo xam ne definitely these are professionals, they know what the game. So this that's Badembo. Musa Bajaha as well, because they've played there, they've played outside, they've because Momo Musa Badembo Momo PC ball num de ñëwé at that time, because I just jógee Gambia di play Gambia. So because players yu bari duñ daan train seen tànka yi seen mosul si ñun daal nañ ñu jox rek ñun ñu dugal ñu play football suñ paree training suñ paree ku nekk. So foofu laa dooree de xam importance si gym as a keeper and as a football infield player as well, because gym dafa lifin dafa key on vital torop si goalkeeping, because you need your strength on your legs. And Badembo moo njëkk a wax loolu moo ma ko njëkk a jàngal, because suy dem gym rek daf ma dee puut nañ dem. That's before you term training. So obviously I learned a lot from him and Musa Bajaha as well, because Musa Bajaha was very composed. He was that type of player. He was very composed and calm. You understand? Mom they enjoy training him. Badembo was there more. Was that professional, more of nakala ko muna wahesa. He was that straightforward guy, I understand. But Musa would go with you, come to your level. I understand, down to your level, put you through. That's how Musa was, and he was that opposite. Munga ko wax lu nekk mom nak. And munga ko wax lu nekk. Definitely, and I am very grateful to those two. They were very key in my coming up as a goalkeeper.
Mr. Gajaga, you are back.
Those are wonderful things, to learn from the very best as a youngster.
We had a good time together. Definitely, I enjoyed working on that.
Maybe man my ñëw rek mooy Exactly. Yeah, yeah, Chris, my yen goalkeepers, you go under a lot of scrutiny.
Hello?
Gajaga, you can go ahead.
Yeah, Chris, super young my diga. My goalkeepers, you go through a lot of scrutiny. My solemn defe a single mistake, right? Public be it. All the football supporters go against you, then they criticize publicly. Whilst when it comes to the strikers, midfielders in using the mistake, they're kind of giving some little weight, different treatment there. But when it comes to goalkeepers, you more a lot of scrutiny. So then they a little mistake, regular more cost team, maybe you concede goal. Eventually, Gambia nyaka game. No, then they deal that kind of situation.
Yes, that situation, we have to be mentally prepared. Because, like you said, that's the thing. Because Muna Fateleku, swing Italian coach, goalkeeper coach. You have no defense. You goalkeepers, you have no defense. Right? Because ball visuality net bila. You understand? They don't see what you did, what you are doing, but any mistake you do, it's in your net and you are being criticized for it. So, and we have to be mentally prepared because you have to have that mental capacity to deal with pressure and also deal with mistakes. Mistakes are inevitable. You can have mistakes, but how do you cope after having those mistakes? Yeah, I understand. How do you cope after having those mistakes? That was the key because so by ñun fi luñ xamone moy like just go into the field and play. But that Italian coach, and with the help of Nyombade Mbuahi, they put the new jangal law moine. Okay, it's not only in the field of play. Singa de janga. Then they toxic class taminga janga. I understand. Because Munna Fata, my first encounter with the Italian coach, then I'm on plan, come like that they print out a plan a game before. Fan guy place defender si, yo fan guy position sa bopa. Come nga picture game before mu happen. You understand? So you daf la de muna dimbale daf la de muna dimbale so ñëwé si game bi do muna cause so many mistakes because I could remember being a game we play bir Mauritanie. You understand? You can lead pare. I was playing with the ball and the coach was very furious just to waste the time. He was very serious. Mune, you are the pivot here because so some players is when amute confidence you are going to be in a problem. So you have to be very conscious of what you do because magi japa ball with the waste time the player do ball be say corner flag me. I'm going you know and it's very dangerous. So he was very furious with us. So mentally you have to be prepared with for those types of things because I know of a guy Musa Kamara boom defe mistake fee. It lets him down. But I had to coach him. I have to tell him that you know what, take it easy. Don't put it upon yourself. Didn't put down because they definitely I know Gambia tamit so defe mistake and you have to have that mental strength and that mental capacity to be ready to you know to leave those types of things because mistakes are inevitable. As I said, you are about to make mistakes, but how you cope after those mistakes, is the thing. Yeah.
Bisa ka jaga? Dafa mel ni léegi time bi jot na de.
Waa léegi moom am naa Gajaga su déewut kon li ñoo def rek mooy ñu bàyyi ko mu su dee dafa am any word of advice bu moo jox the upcoming wala youngsters ñu xam ne they will want to become future players. What word of advice would you love to give them, to that young guy listening? or wala ko am mu ñu seetaan in tonight's program.
Yes, Lila Dohar, because this was always Lumade advocate for especially young lads you grow up, especially ñoo xam ne ñu ngi si Gambia bi fii di play. Always I put it to them ne learn a skill because football time la. Yes, you might be lucky to be a professional that helps a family because so play league, it's to help your family and yourself. You understand? But also there come a time where injury comes. You understand? And that's life-threatening injury or your career again. But what would you gain after? Because time, well, let's say maximum 10, 15 years, you've done. But always them could always say learn a skill. At least after football, you have something that you will do, especially those playing in the country here. You have amuñ log bi pour nekk professionals. You understand? Because take me as an example because man tay suma follow ton suma studies ak suma janga by then léegi fu mu ne damay just talk nii rek di xoole but thank God I was able to go to school and do other things and now working jeexal na football but still I am working to support my family but you the young ones yoo xam ne yéen a ngi come up you can juggle the both football at the end so pare football you have something that is with you you manage yourself with that if you are not lucky to be a professional you will have somewhere to hold on to but you being a footballer playing fii bugguloo def dara yow ne football rek there comes time boy doo fa nekka ñeneen a ngi comme doo fa nekka injury mun naa ñëw amuloo fay téye fan ngay nekka mooy toog rek di xoole so my advice is to them is learn a skill and also those being professional invest in something that would give you rewards at the end of your footballing career because it's not gonna last forever. It's for some certain time you're having the play professional. Let's say you won't pass like 15 years maximum. You understand? So at the end of that, you have something else to help yourself, your family with. That's my advice to them. Learn a skill whilst juggling football as well. If the time reaches and if luck comes, you will be a professional, that's fine. You can help your family, help yourself, and then help your friends as well. So my advice is learn a skill.
Wow, that's a very very good advice because some players believe man dama bëgg a nekk footballer so I don't need to go to school which is a very big mistake some of them because you are not guaranteed in fact to play up to 5 years mun nga am life threatening injury. If you
Exactly.
don't have an option that's another thing.
Because all the time Lola they way guys more they 3 times no dam they take guy because I'm the new hamne mentally so gisee guys su ñëwee training dang they hamne okay key there's something bothering him or her sorry him sorry because he
Yeah.
yeah but something bothering them you understand because so buggee trainer kooku noonu du la jox 100%. You understand am na lu ko disturb si kër gi you understand foog nga tooga ñoom waxtaan ak ñoom ne leen okay you know what this is the life lii mooy life football time la you understand so mu ne génn jógee training ba pare benn 2 hours boo faa am demal nga jàngi métier at least foofu soo pare because fii end of month rek lañ la dee fay Gambia fii te du passé $5,000 ñun ñëpp xam nañ na passé $5,000 wala $6,000 the highest they would pay you maybe $6,000 or $7,000 as a footballer in the Gambia. Loolu lum la mun a defaral fii ba end of month. You understand? The end yow tamit breadwinner nga sa kër. At least soo jógee training for those 2 hours nga dem nga jàppa sa skill bi at least lum bon si dee bi di nga wàcca $500. At least 500 boobu soo ko multiply by 7 di nga am dara loo xam ne di nga ko jox family. So loolu laa dee waxtaan ak gars yi cancel them before training. Like small training because they them through because the mark call coach been a common. Today I want a tete-a-tete with my goalkeepers. No physical exercise or anything. Just for one lane. Football be I'm the life after football. You understand? So this is it. But I hope ne dinañ ci mëna catch up ñu bari because recently maa ngi gis ñoo xam ne ñu ngi graduate from university and still they are playing football and that's a good one. At least su football doxute you are working somewhere to feed yourself. So we've seen so many people yoo xam ne that happened to them yoo xam ne football la woon rek at the end anañu they are not doing anything, they are just sitting down.
Yeah.
Semua aja gajaga. You have any? Dafa mel ni
Gajaga tey moom
Well, Gajaga tey moom network bi baaxul.
dafa mel ni mu ngi gën a waat de mooy after show bi moom boy da nga ko war a yóbbu gamtel boy xëcc ko nga yóbbu ko gamtel boy. Waa del boy mun nañoo lifin léegi boy.
Wow, so Chris, to be honest, we are really grateful for you coming on the program, the Parenga Siasa story, and we really appreciate it because a lot of things you have there, those watching did not know about you, even us, we knew about some of the things, and it's cool. It's nice also to hear from the past stories and how people impacted different people in different ways in their life. I think some of these things are very, very important for us to hear, as well. So ñu la jaajëfal bu baax a baax si waxtu boo xam ne boobu nga jël, from your busy schedule to discuss with us, so appreciate nañ ko torop di la ne hopefully next time we will catch up inshallah.
Thank you.
Unfortunately Gajaga ñëwaat na. I don't know whether he will want to just put on that final question while you sign out because time we have a goodie. At least you want to have time with your family as well.
Yeah, I know he has something to say. You make 1 minute, Reg. I'm not.
Gajaga. So Gajaga, the ball is in your court. Ninko my few seconds, right?
Connection with Nala.
Wow.
Yeah, Chris, su fekkee yaa ngi may dégg man moom lu may wax rek we're so grateful comforted to have you on the show and it's been fantastic listening to your story. Te jërëjëf li nga defal Gambia in terms of sacrifices, in terms of representing Gambia and at all levels from the U17 to U20 and then national.
Semua aja damat na boy.
Wow, so
Come nung ko wahe, we are grateful. We are very, very grateful. Man mo dama no don't explain mom dama muna wane come I was so impressed some of the things that you are saying. Sibiri especially on the 15B, sorry, on the 17B, on the 20B, Silik B, and I know I'm a patient B, wait for the right time, So we hope to have you again on the show in terms of, let's say, qualifiers Sujete, because we are considering that qualifiers Sujete bring in, 1 or 2 former players to talk about, post-match. Ham naa ne moom te yaa ngi kontaan waaye ëllëg ba mu nga am different because Arsenal moom dañ leen a yóbbu ëllëg so
no bro buko faale sax
gisuñ dara lu dul trophy bi fu mu nekk nii gisuñ leen sax.
Thank you so much, boy. So see you soon, bro.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure, man. It's a pleasure to have me today. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
All right.